Hi everybody, welcome back to the Meta Quest 2 and welcome to Resident Evil VIllage. We're using Praydog's REFramework mod and we just need to let it sort itself out, because what the problem I have is when I make these videos I have to tell the Meta Quest to start recording, and in order to do that I need to use the move controllers, the touch controller things, and that means that kind of overrides my Xbox controller. So when I come back into the game, I've got to kind of wait a bit for the Xbox controller to take over again. Also, sometimes it takes a couple of seconds just for the frame rate to sort itself out. But when you're actually playing, you don't have these sorts of problems. It's really just because I'm flicking backwards and forwards between apps on the Meta Quest 2. In the description below this video, you'll find a link to Resident Evil 8 Resident Evil VIllage, and also you'll find a link to Praydog's REFramework. Now, it's important to remember that this will push most sort of medium gaming rigs quite hard. In fact, I'm having some frame issues now, but that's probably just because it's just sorting itself out because I'm kind of recording. Normally you get a much better frame rate than this. Let's wait for it to kind of cut in. The graphic settings on the game are set to performance priority, so that means it'll lower the textures and things like that, so that it puts a lesser graphical load on my gaming PC, because obviously this is playing on my Lenovo Legion T5 with this RTX 3070 and then streaming it to my headset. So let's go for a little walk. So yeah, trust me when I say when you do this with an equivalent sort of rig, you'll get better performance than this. This is just because I've been messing around and flicking between apps on the headset, which means that I've got like two interfaces running at the same time, which can be a bit of a pain. But what I have come here to say in this video is, if you've got Resident Evil 7 and you've got a Meta Quest 2, or if you've got a Meta Quest 2 or via headset and haven't got Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil VIllage I should call it, and you see it going cheap in the Steam sale, you should definitely pick it up, because this is an absolutely terrifying experience. Now, I'm quite a long way into the game, so I'm not really going to do anything, so I don't want to give away any of the kind of the secrets that happen. And I know for a lot of people consider Resident Evil VIllage not to be the best Resident Evil game, and I would probably agree with them, the fact that it's not the best Resident Evil game. However, it is one of the best video games you'll ever play, and the reason for that is it goes into a little bit of the, I guess you might even say, fantasy world, with the various monsters and challenges that you come across. But as a video game, I think it's absolutely fantastic, and it is probably up there as one of my favourite Resident Evil games. Yeah, with Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 7 definitely, because the different scenarios that you come across as you play through this game are absolutely fantastic. And as you can see, one of the great pulls of using something like REFramework, Praydog's mod, is the fact that you can look at these superb environments in real detail, things that you would just sort of skip past as you're playing the game. You're playing it as a video game rather than this virtual reality experience that looks really, really good. Now, and I understand that when you're watching this on YouTube, it won't look that good, and the fact that I've got a few frame rate issues at the moment, but again, you won't have this when you're kind of playing this with an equivalent rig. You'll be fine. It really is a experience to behold. So the reason why this is so challenging is because with Resident Evil 8 and Resident Evil 4 remake, Capcom haven't included a non-ray tracing version of the game. So with Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 7, you can go back to a version of the game in the betas that is easier to run and works better. You get better performance out of it. But with Resident Evil VIllage and Resident Evil 4 remake, you haven't got that ability. So you know, it is a lot more challenging to run in VR, but looks so good. And you do find you walk around a lot slower. You kind of inspect things and have a look around. Even things like the rips in the wallpaper are absolutely fascinating. So anyway, try not to be too bothered about the frame rate issues I'm having here. I'm using this wirelessly as well, so that might be affecting things. You will have better performance when you do it. If you can get Resident Evil 7 running nicely, you'll get this running nicely. Like in VR, you'll get this running nicely as well. So anyway, there we go. Resident Evil VIllage, Resident Evil 8. Definitely check it out. It is such an amazing video game anyway, and it looks absolutely beautiful in VR. So that's enough from me. Hopefully you found this useful. If you have, hit like. If you want to see more, same, press subscribe. And of course, I'll see you again soon.